that's still throwing me off a little bit. I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm being watched. So, okay, y'all, I'm so excited for tonight. And of course, when I had this Zoom in mind, I really love Elissa so much as a friend and a distributor. So I'm my team. I'm always trying to get her in front of you guys, but I had it, in my head, it was going to go a little differently and maybe we could have done questions, but like I said, nobody wants to listen. I don't even want to listen to my voice. Also, this is me yelling at you guys. Like I am projecting as hard as it goes. So I'm going to actually let Elissa take over. I sent her everything prior. And if anybody wants to drop questions in the chat, you're more than welcome to. And Gina is going to kind of be the one to interact with Elissa more so because she has a whole voice. So it's like really one of those things that we take for granted until it's gone and you're like trying to yell at your kids and like whisper comes out and you're like, okay, I'm out.
You poor thing. Okay, so hi guys, my name is Elissa Bowman. For those of you that don't know me, I have been in the company for almost 10 years now. I started as a 22-year-old working a retail job, coaching club volleyball, just trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life, and jumped into this business with my boss at the time. I worked for Ashley Sinclair at her boutique, thought I might make a little extra money, lose a little bit of weight. I was a college athlete, but then when you stop working out 3 times a day and you eat whatever you want, you start to gain weight. And so I just wanted to feel better in my own skin. So joined the company hoping maybe that it wasn't a pyramid scheme, that I might make a little bit of money and then I'd go on my way, right? Like I didn't think I'd still be here almost a decade later. And here I am. When I joined, I was single, young, 22. I had a dog. Now I'm married, have 2 kids, live in a totally different city than I did when I joined. So I am proof that you can work this business through pretty much every season of life, you guys. This business can grow with you. Anything that pops up in your way, you can use this as your plan B or your plan A if you need it to be. So we're going to be talking about posting tonight. And you guys, I apologize if this is all over the place. I'm going to try to give you guys all the very basics, but then maybe some more in-depth stuff that you didn't know. We'll talk about that fun thing called the algorithm. And so you guys just stay tuned. You can ask questions in the chat if you want to. I can't promise I'll get to them right away because I often have to not look at it so that I am less all over the place. So here we go. I want you guys to drop a 1 if you joined. Part of the reason that you joined this business is because you saw someone posting, sharing their story, talking about the opportunity, talking about making extra money from home, one of those things. Look at all those ones. Okay, so if you are not posting daily for your business, you are not going to sign a Candace Brewster, an Amy Rundle, a Brittany McDaniel, a Larissa Thompson. You are missing out on some of these people that joined because they were watching someone post about the business, okay? And I would probably guarantee you that most of these people, it wasn't that they saw one post, they saw someone continue to post about what they were doing, showing where they were headed in this company, and that's what made them join, okay? And then now drop a 2 if you spend way too much time thinking about posting, trying to figure out what to post, coming up with captions, figuring out when to post. Because I know that there's some people on here that spend way too much trying to come up with content and way too little time doing other things for their business. Writer's block is real. It's true. And you guys, there are very few of us, and I am not one of them, that joined because we're like an influencer type, right? Like we don't have this like glamorous lifestyle or really like stuff to talk about, right? Almost everyone that joins is like, I don't really have anything exciting to share, okay? None of us are authors, at least not anyone that I know of. So it's normal to join and be like, I don't have content to share, okay? So we're gonna kind of talk about that tonight. But let's talk about why we post, besides obviously all these people saying that they joined because of posting. Posting is really our only way to show people we're open for business, right? Especially over the last 18 months or so when most people couldn't really leave their house. Social media is our #1 storefront. And I would hope that you guys wouldn't open a restaurant or a boutique or a nail salon or any sort of business and then just never flip over your open sign, right? you would just like never unlock the doors. People would never be able to come in. People would have no idea what you even sell if you never flip over the open sign. And posting is how you show people you are open for business. And so just think of that as your open sign. When you make your first post of the day, you are open for business and people will know it. But the other really important part of posting, and I feel like a lot of newer distributors especially overlook this, posting is showing people who you are. It's showing people you're a real person, that you're not just a business owner, you're not just trying to sell products, that you're a mom or a wife or a dog mom or a teacher, or all these things that describe who you are as a person before you join this business. That is, I would say, equally, if not more so important than you actually posting about the products. Because as you grow in this business, you're going to be growing your network. And you know how you're going to grow a network? By showing people you're a real person, that people can relate to you. Because guess what? Otherwise, they don't accept the friend request, or they snooze you, or they unfollow you because they're not clicking with anything that you're sharing. So you have to show people that you're a real person, that you have real life struggles, that you have real goals for your life, that you're out of your comfort zone doing this, right? So those are the main reasons it's important. But truly, people should know, after following you for a while, they should know probably the names of your kids. They should know what your lifestyle looks like. They probably will know, if you have a boyfriend or a spouse, what they do for a living. People should know you. You guys, there are people that join my team that know my kids' names, and I know nothing about them, but that's how loud I am about other areas of my life. So make sure you are showing you there was a person before you were a distributor, and that person still matters, right? I know they say that about motherhood. The person you were before motherhood, that person matters. It's the same thing with this business. Who you were before you joined this business matters. And whether or not you talked about it on social media before or not is fine, but you need to start talking about it now. Okay, so I'm going to run through a few bullet points of the basics of posting, kind of a to-do and not to-do list. A lot of these things you guys will probably already know. But the most important thing that I need you to hear tonight is that posting only works when you are doing all of the other stuff too. When we talk about host to post and we talk about engagement and all this stuff I'm not going to go through tonight, posting is just a piece of the puzzle. So posting by itself is fine. Doing all the other stuff is fine, but all of these things work together. It's like baking a cake without the eggs. You're not going to do it. You've got to have all of it for posting to be effective. So just hear me when I say that posting is important, but you can't just make $1 million on social media by just posting. There is more to it. There's more behind the scenes. So make sure you're also thinking about that when you're following these leaders that maybe are getting great engagements on their posts. It's not actually the post itself that is having that great reaction. It's because of the behind the scenes stuff that they're doing. So just keep that in mind. Okay, very basic thing. Don't press the share button. If you can avoid the share button, do it. Okay, don't share funny memes. Don't share recipes all over your news page. Facebook rewards original content. So if you just see the funniest thing you've ever seen in your entire life and you just want everyone that you're friends with to see it, save it, crop it if you need to, and then repost it. Okay, it's not copyright. Like, you're literally just saving the image that someone else shared rather than clicking the share button. Okay, you'll get way more visibility this way. I do it all the time. I did it today. You guys can go to my page. I shared a funny meme from Instagram, but I took a screenshot of what someone posted. I cropped it down and I posted it like a couple days later. Okay. So don't press the share button. Be consistent, but don't worry about being perfect. I have a lot of people that stress over, like, well, what should I post now? Well, I just posted about this an hour ago. Should I post about this now? What do you think about tomorrow? Don't put so much pressure on yourself. There is no perfect way to post. I'm still figuring it out, like, every day. Like, it's literally like throwing something to a wall and seeing if it sticks. Okay. It's the consistency that matters, not the perfection. The same thing goes with your appearance in your pictures. You guys, most of the time I'm a hot mess. I haven't showered in a couple days. I've got dry shampoo or a braid or a messy ponytail. That stuff doesn't matter. Okay. Show people you're real. If you get yourself together every single day, by all means, show that. But if you're not, don't let that keep you from sharing your life just because your house is a mess. Because that girl that's watching you, or that guy that's watching you, wondering if they can do this business too, but they don't have their life together and they're always a mess and they've always got dry shampoo in their hair, you're showing them that they can do this too. So do not worry about perfection. Okay. Stop thinking that likes and comments are a reflection of who's actually watching you and who is actually interested. You guys drop a 3 in the chat if your It Work stuff is often your least liked, least commented post on social media, right? Okay. There's lots, and there's lots of very successful people saying this. Okay. So just know that that is normal. And I find that a lot of people don't like or comment on a business or product post until they've gotten a step closer to actually wanting to purchase the products. So it's usually not the first post that they see. It's usually they're continuing to see it, and finally they're gonna bite at it, right? Just like when we see ads on TV, we see ads in the Facebook marketplace. You'll see a cute shirt in your Facebook marketplace. You won't buy it the first time, right? But then it keeps popping up and you're like, I have to have the shirt. Okay. So this is the same thing with our products, you guys. They're going to need to see it more than once. And they also aren't going to see everything you post. I think we also get in our own heads, and I don't know if it's an ego thing or what, but we feel like people are really creeping on us hardcore, and they're seeing every single post about the coffee we make. And we feel like we're being annoying about coffee, and they're really seeing about a tenth of what you post. So if you think about that, I'm not going to try to do the math tonight because I don't have a brain, but if you post about the coffee once a week, that's 4 times a month. And people are seeing a tenth of what you post. So if it takes people seeing something 7 to 12 times to actually make a purchase, how many times would you have to post about coffee for them to see it 7 to 12 times? That's a lot. And you guys, we have over 40 products. So it's going to be a while before people know and have seen something long enough from you to make a purchase. And of course, there's the unicorns. Day one, they want fat burning coffee. Day one, they want toning wraps. Okay. There are those people. I'm not saying it's going to take forever for everyone, but you've got to give people the time of day to even want to purchase our products. And they've got to see you posting about it. It all goes back to consistency. I'm sorry, I feel like I haven't taken a breath, so I hope I'm not like really stressing you guys out. But another important thing when it comes to posting, and it's funny because I feel like all of my tips really don't have that much to do with posting, but I promise I'm getting there. There's just so many other things that make posting more valuable. And so engaging with other people. Okay, you are going to see in your newsfeed who you interact with the most. Same goes for the people that you are friends with. Whoever they are interacting with the most, that's whose post they're seeing. So if you guys are constantly just interacting with It Works distributors and your mom and your best friend, guess who's seeing your stuff? Other It Works distributors and your mom and your best friend. So to fix that, there are a couple things that you can do. Obviously, you can be engaging with people, something super simple that you guys should be doing every day, but because it's so simple, I know a lot of you guys probably aren't. It's just wishing people a happy birthday. And take it a step further and message them happy birthday instead of writing it on their wall. Facebook loves when you message people, but engaging with others, you guys, engaging with people's stories, leaving genuine comments, usually like 4 words or more, and then snoozing people in your newsfeed, you guys. I'm a big advocate for snoozing people. You can click the 3 dots in the top right-hand corner of their post, snooze them for 30 days. That will make room in your newsfeed for you to see other people so that you can interact with those people, so that Facebook will show those people more of your stuff. Okay. So engage, be genuine with that. Use your own original photos when you can. Again, I realize as a newer distributor, gosh, even 10 years in, there's some products that I don't use, so I don't have in my kitchen cabinet, right? I use a bunch of them because I love them all, but there's some products that I don't use every day, so I don't have a picture, or I don't have them to show. But when you can, use your own photo. If you don't want to be in the picture, show your coffee mug with your pets in the background, whatever it needs to, but it's always better to use your own photo. Okay. If you don't, there's pictures on Pinterest and there's other things. I know a lot of us for cleanse, we use pictures from Pinterest or wherever, and that's okay. But when you can, use original photos from your camera roll. This is a fun one. Avoid keywords when you're posting. Okay, so Facebook just, they make their rules for us, and so there's some things that we kind of have to work around, and Facebook doesn't particularly love people selling stuff for free, right? They want you to have a business page and pay thousands of dollars in ads to make an income on here. So when you guys get frustrated with the algorithm or anything like that, it's the same for all of us, and it's simply because Facebook is a business essentially, and they want to make the most money. So a couple of things that you can do to kind of work around the algorithm when I say algorithm, it's just a pattern that Facebook has programmed and is constantly changing for what gets seen, basically. And so avoiding keywords, like I often don't say weight loss a lot in my post. I don't say free. I don't say like anything that has to do with like shopping, like anything that would look like an advertisement, I try to stay clear of. I will even avoid, and I don't even know, you guys, if there's a list somewhere maybe of these keywords, but I generally just notice that there's less visibility when you use some words that are flagged by Facebook. So I even get creative with product names, because guess what? When Slimming Gummies came out, what did everyone post about? Slimming Gummies, like every day for like months, right? And so think of creative names that you can refer to some of your favorite products to. Like instead of Skinny Brew, I normally say like mood boosting coffee, or I don't know, you guys can share some names in the chat of things that you like. Bikini Bod Bestie, like any weight loss product could be like a Bikini Bod Bestie, right? My superfood detox drink, instead of saying super greens, like I just make up like fun other things, because the other thing is then people that are watching, they're not quite sure what product you're talking about. Even my loyal customers will reach out and be like, what is that one thing that you posted about? Is that the thing that I ordered? And so it gets conversation going. Anything you can do with posting that creates curiosity is extremely helpful, because it gets people asking questions either on your post or in Messenger. Okay, another thing with photos is to avoid labels and logos when you can. Obviously we're all proud of what we do, but I want someone to have to ask me. I want them, it goes right along with not using the exact name of the product a lot of the times. I want people to have to reach out to me and say, what company is it? What product is it? What are you talking about? So instead of posting a picture of my Skinny Brew packet, I'm posting a picture of my coffee mug. Instead of posting a bottle of my Fat Fighters, I'm posting a picture of 2 pills in my hand over the pizza that I just ate. You see the difference? It's not because we want to hide it. It's because we want to create that curiosity. And so I do in my stories, I will often show packaging. On my page, I tend to keep labels out of it as much as I possibly can. Okay, and then let me see. I want to make sure I don't miss anything. Another good little tip is just not to give all of the information in the caption of the post. Like you don't have to give every detail of every ingredient of the product pricing, what company it is, all of that. It all goes back to creating curiosity. So just keep it really simple when it comes to your post. You'll see some people that will have like fun, like long blogger posts about a product, and then sometimes your posts need to be short and sweet and to the point, because guess what? People's attention span on social media is really short. So you're not always going to catch people with a long drawn out caption. So you want an appealing photo that makes people stop to think, what is that? And that's why I often tell my team, like, make sure your face is in a picture, or your kids' faces are in a picture, or your pet's face is in a picture, because people slow down when they see a face. When they see a product, they tend to continue scrolling. Okay. And it's true of all of us, right? Whenever I'm on Facebook, unless it's an ad that I'm like, oh, that's cute, I like scroll by it as quickly as I can, because that's not why most people are on social media. So, and then a last thing, 2 last things is just the basics of social media is remember that sometimes you have to share and sometimes you're selling. It's basically what I just talked about, but sometimes you're sharing the products because you love them. Sometimes you're selling the products because it's a business, and you need to find a balance of both. I see a lot of new distributors that it's like selling, because you're trying to get your 6 customers, right? But they forget to tell a story of why they're trying their products, what they hope to see with their products, what they're liking about the products. And so make sure that it's not always join my weight loss challenge for $39, try my skinny coffee and lose this amount of weight. Make sure that there is more content than just those short little colorful backgrounds. I know sometimes we're like pushing so hard to get that last customer that we think that's going to do it, but it's those other posts in between that are going to help you keep followers, and people want to see a story, not just an advertisement. So make sure that you're mixing it up a little bit. So again, sometimes you're sharing because it's something you love or something that you're excited about, and sometimes you're selling because it's a product and it's a business for you. And then the very last thing is in case you haven't noticed this, you're going to have posts that just crash and burn. You're going to spend 10 minutes coming up with the perfect caption and the cutest photo, and it's going to get 1 like, and it's going to be your upline, right? Or your sideline, or someone on your team, or your mom, or whatever. And that sucks, right? So it happens to all of us. 10 years in, I still post. Every once in a while, I'll just delete a post because I'm like, it's been up for 45 minutes and has nothing. Okay. So it happens to all of us. So don't feel defeated, but that's also a reason that you don't really want to spend an excessive amount of time creating this perfect caption, because 9 times out of 10, those are the ones that I have that get 1 like. And then I'll throw something random together, or I'll copy and paste something from someone else, and that's the one that gets, that takes off. So just know that you are not alone if that is something that happens to you. All right, so I want to touch on this because I know, right, we all want to grow our teams, and I know people are always like, what post is going to help me sign distributors? Like, I need to sign a distributor. What would you post? And the thing that I want you to hear about posting about the opportunity is to remember the reasons that you joined. And if you don't know those things, or it's been a while, you should write them down in your notes. What are the things, especially if you were someone that was watching someone post, what was it about them posting that made you want to join? And then also figure out what your pain point was. Did you join this business because you were tired of not being able to pay your groceries without logging into your bank account? Did you join this business because you really just needed some new friends? Figure out what those things were, because those are the things that you need to continue to share on your page, because someone else that is looking for those exact same things. And then also, something that helps me when talking about the opportunity is thinking about the conversations I've had that week and the excuses that people gave me. So like, if I've heard someone, like 10 people tell me they're too busy to do this business, guess what I'm going to post about that week? About how busy I was when I joined this business, or about how busy my friend Stormy was when she joined this business. And I'm going to be thinking of a specific person. Don't tag them, don't call them out because that'll embarrass them, but think of a specific person when you are writing that post about the opportunity, because it's not always going to be a join my team for $50 this week. It's going to be, I remember what it felt like to join this business when I was working 2 jobs or whatever. Okay. So you want to speak to those objections that you're hearing from people. So if you always think of that, like, what are the main ones? Like too busy, too shy, don't have the money, all of those things, are things that you can be addressing in your post about the business opportunity. So, and it doesn't always have to be like a tough love to those people. As much as you can relate to them with your own story, the better. And if your story doesn't relate to them, use someone else's on the team to relate to them. Gina, feel free to interrupt at any point if you want me to like just take
Never.
Okay.
Never.
I'm like,
You're doing amazing. Keep going.
like, you need to take a breath. I will. Okay, so I seriously feel like this is all over the place, but it's hard to do it really smooth. Okay, one more little thing about salesy posts, and I could have done this in a way better order, but we all like those short and sweet. You guys can go steal my wrap one today because it was really good for sending out sample wraps. But I always keep those short and sweet ones on the colorful backgrounds. Like, I do sign a lot of customers from that, but I always wait to post them until I've been engaging a lot on any specific day, that I've added a bunch of people to my network, that I've been active in Messenger, I've sent my happy birthdays, and I have a bunch of host to post going. Because again, Facebook rewards those things, I feel like. And so I want to save those posts that are often quick customers. I want to save that for after I've been doing all of those things, in hopes that I will get the best results from that. And so once you start getting comments on any sort of post, you guys, something you have to remember is it's important to respond to every single comment. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you're saying, I'm messaging you info, I'll send you info, I'm messaging you info. You never want to answer questions in the comments, but you do want to respond to every comment, because the more activity that's going on in the comments, the more you're showing Facebook, like, this is an interesting post, because people are having conversations in the comments, the more it will stay active in people's news feeds. So again, not exactly a posting tip, but it's going to help your posts get more interaction when you're responding. So a perfect example with my wrap post earlier today, it got a couple comments right off the bat. I responded back to those comments. It got a few more. I left those for a little while. Okay, I was having my conversations with the people in my messenger. I left those for a little while. About an hour later, I went back and responded to those people and told them I sent them a message. Okay, because now it's getting interaction again an hour later. So you can keep your post getting interaction a little bit longer when you space it out. It's the same thing when I post about a host to post giveaway. It might get a bunch of comments. I don't respond to each comment right away. I'll do it a chunk at a time because I want to elongate the time that Facebook is showing those posts. Okay, so respond to every single comment, but don't answer questions in the comment. That should always be done in Messenger. And just to explain why, if we have anyone newer on here, you don't respond to questions about how much is it, or what is this, or what's in it. You don't answer those in the comments because there might be someone else scrolling by that post that's also interested how much it is. But now that you've answered how much it is to someone else, they no longer have to comment and ask. You will never know that that person was interested because you answered the questions in the comments. So you want to answer them in Messenger so that if they're interested, they will have to reach out to you to get the answer. So that's just a side tip. Okay. I did a little research today because it had been a while on the algorithm. You guys can find a bunch of information on the internet about like what the algorithm likes and doesn't like, but just to kind of recap you guys on a few things. Facebook really doesn't like anymore if you're using engagement bait, which means like this post if, or comment below if. They want it to be more genuine, like conversation. So, I think we used to do that a lot and it used to work. Facebook doesn't generally like that. They actually pick up on some of those keywords because we know that the more engagement our posts get, the more visibility our entire page gets. We want people to interact, right? So they know that. And so now they're picking up on some of those keywords like comment below and stuff like that. So you've got to get a little bit creative. But again, you want to get conversations going in the comments. So let me give you a few examples of how to do this. We call them high engagement posts. You guys might call them something else, but something you should do every couple of days, if nothing else, is just ask Facebook a question. Ask your Facebook network a question. Doesn't have to do anything with the business or the products. This is just to get some more eyes on your page. But instead of saying like, comment below with your favorite color and stuff like that, you want to be, again, a little bit more conversational. So recently I did one that was like moms, when did your kids stop taking a nap? Okay. So lots of people had lots to say about when their kids stopped taking naps. This wasn't to give me people to talk to about the business or products. It was just to get people to interact on my page. So think about those questions that you're often Googling or texting to your best friend. Start asking Facebook instead. Okay. Like, I'm thinking about chopping my hair off. Which hairstyle do you guys like best? And make a little collage and post it. Anything that will get some interaction going. People have opinions, right? Even when you don't want them. So go ahead and just ask Facebook for those opinions. Be careful on what you ask opinions about if you don't really want them. Keep it fun and lighthearted most of the time. But people want to give their 2 cents when it's something that they care about. So this is a good way to get interaction on your page. And sometimes you'll get answers to questions that you actually want the answer to. Okay. There are definitely times where I've said, I'm going to get perfume. What's everyone's favorite? I'm not going to get perfume. I rarely wear, my perfume is baby spit up at the moment. But it will get good interaction. So think of those questions you actually want to know the answer to and ask those. Again, it's just building engagement for your page. And it's not clickbait is what they refer to it. Like you're actually getting genuine conversations going. I feel like I had a few other ones because I know not everyone has kids. Like thinking about remodeling my kitchen. What combination of like tile and backsplash do you like? I saw that on my newsfeed today. Just anything like that, you guys. And then last thing with the algorithm, and I thought this was interesting, but I've seen it happen to be true in mine too, but like, don't be scared to reuse a post that worked well for you in the past. I do it all the time. You guys, the cool thing about doing this for longer than a year, so shout out to those of you, drop a 4 if you've been doing this for over a year. When you see your Facebook memories, sometimes you get a great post idea because you posted it a year ago. There are some days that I have literally the last like 3 or 4 years made the same post because it continues to do well. And one of the things the article said that I was reading, it said, think of repurposing, like reposting as a second chance for posts with high potential that maybe didn't get the feedback you wanted, or a comeback tour for the ones that were already big hits. I was like, okay. So it's giving us permission to do that. It's saying that's okay. It actually likes that. If you're sharing good content, Facebook doesn't mind if you post it again. That's why, like, once a month, I'll post, hey, dropping Skinny Brew samples in the mail tomorrow. Who wants to try it before committing to a whole bag? I do almost the exact same verbiage every single month, and it still works. So it just said, basically, if you post something and you spend a lot of time on it and you decide to delete it, or you leave it and just it gets 2 likes, it's not always a bad idea to either take it down or save it for another day and post it at a different time. Okay, maybe you post it at 3 p.m. and it's crickets. Maybe the next time you post it at 9 p.m. and you get more interaction. So play around with it a little bit. There is no like for sure anything with Facebook. Again, it's all a little bit of trial and error. But I feel like the other thing that people probably want to know is just like how to come up with posts or what to post. And you guys, you all have access to the boards app, and you all have access to a team page and a million other things that would probably give you 100,000 different types of posts about the products and business. But I came up with a term today for what I do to post, because I feel like everyone thinks that I just come up with great content all the time. And it's called copy and twasted. Okay, so you're going to copy, tweak, and paste it. And that's, you guys, that's how I pretty much have built my business. I a lot of times don't come up with I will say, when it comes to like business and product. Okay, when it comes to my personal life, a lot of times those are my words. But when it comes to business and products, you guys, a lot of times I'm taking that from other people, I'm tweaking it and pasting it, and I'm posting it. I'm just grabbing a picture from my camera roll and I'm pasting it. So don't overthink it. I remember hearing a long time ago on a Zoom, I can't remember who said it, but she said, being a copycat is fine as long as you're following the right cat. So make sure you're following the right cats, you guys. If there is someone that you want to be making the same amount of money they are, go look and see how they're posting. You might not have the same story as them yet, but I guarantee you there are things that you can take from their post and make it your own. A lot of times what will happen is once a week, I'll scroll through just a bunch of like random top leaders. Okay. I might not even be friends with them. I'll just find someone that is in the business. Maybe they were highlighted. If you guys are ever on a Sunday night call and someone gets a shout out, do you guys not go creep on that person's page? Because that's what I do. I'm like, who's that emerald that earns winner circle? Like, I'm going to look up their name, because I want to post like someone that is seeing that kind of growth in their business, right? Because they work with more urgency the month that they're going for a promotion than a month that we're like working on maintaining, or maybe we're like a few months out from hitting a major promotion. But I want to have the urgency in my posts like they do. And so I'll go creep on their page. This is not the most effective or organized way to do this, and you guys don't probably take this from me, but I literally will just copy and paste and text them to myself. You could save them to a collection, you can put them in your notes, whatever. For whatever reason, texting it to myself works for me. So anytime I'm looking for a post, I'll pull up my conversation with myself and I'll scroll through there and I'll find the text from there. I don't tweak it then. When I am like in content gathering mode, I just copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. And then when I'm looking for something to post, I'll scroll through, I'll copy it, and then I'll tweak it then. So I don't worry if it has someone's phone number in it. I literally leave all of that stuff. I want to make it quick. I want to get as much content saved to my phone as possible, so that when I have a busy day, when the kids are crazy, whatever, I have no excuse, because I can just go to my text messages, grab something, tweak it. And a lot of times what happens, and you guys will find this too, like you'll find some inspirational post that you love and you'll copy and paste it, and then you'll delete half of it and you'll just think of other stuff you want to add about your own personal story. That's what happens to me most of the time, is like I'll see an inspirational quote and I'll just make a post out of that. You'll get better as time goes on, but seriously, you guys, copying and pasting is not a bad thing as long as you're tweaking it enough to make it sound like you. Because really the goal of posting is to create good content and to have good photos, but it's really to stay open while you do all those behind the scenes things. So I don't even stress anymore. Like I know like back in the day, it would be like, goodness, on Instagram, you guys, be thankful you weren't in the business like in 2015. It was all chronological, which means there was no algorithm. And so if you posted and then a bunch of other people posted, unless people scrolled way down, they would never see your post. So we literally would post like every hour just so that people would see our stuff before it would fall to the bottom of the news feed. So thank goodness we do not live in that life anymore. You can post like 2 or 3 times a day, you guys, and that's it. You don't have to post all the time. I don't stress over getting a post if I'm not feeling it, if I don't have anything to say. I do post once about the business or products and once about my personal life pretty much every day. Like I don't think I've really missed a day except for maybe my Sabbath. But ideally, once about the business, once about the products, once about my personal life. That's my goal every single day. But I don't stress over it because guess what? If I'm working host to post, other people are doing the salesy post for me, right? Or they're doing a giveaway post and I'm growing my network. So I don't post as much about me posting as long as someone is posting for me. So again, like consistency is key, you guys. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's not ever going to look perfect. And it's okay to copy and paste. It's okay to like model it after someone else. It's okay to come up with your own content if you want to, but just make sure that you're not wasting too much time doing those things. And then the other thing that I do with posting besides text myself a bunch of captions is anytime if you guys are on Instagram and you go to your explore page, a lot of times you're going to see a bunch of whatever you already interact with, right? So like for me, it's always like babies and moms and business, like motivational stuff is like my whole explore feed, which is awesome. And you guys, I have a collection called Post Inspiration, and I just save things to that collection like crazy. Anytime I see something, because that helps me share stuff to my stories, like just to break things up, especially if I don't have anything exciting going on in my life. I'll share like a funny mom quote or something from my collection, but it also gives me some things that I can actually type out and make into a caption. And a lot of times I tell people, I'm like, I'm really not that funny, you guys. I literally just type out things I see on Pinterest or Instagram. And instead of sharing the actual graphic, I type out the words and then I put a picture of my own with it. And so you guys can do that too. Like there's seriously no reason that you guys can't be posting every single day with very little time on your hands and to be posting good, high quality stuff. So you just have to be intentional. It's just like what we say with like, if you guys are on TikTok, being on TikTok isn't a bad thing. It can be a time waster if you let it be. But if you're on TikTok to save content, and every time you're looking at something, you're thinking, yes, I could do this, or no, I couldn't, or yes, I should save this, or no, I shouldn't. Or it's the same thing with Facebook and Instagram. As long as you are on there with a purpose, you shouldn't be wasting a whole lot of time. You're either interacting with someone, snoozing them, or getting post inspiration and saving it for yourself. Like Facebook for me is my business. And so that's when I'm on there, I'm working like 99% of the time I'm working. So use your time on there wisely. If you need people to follow to save post ideas or whatever, by all means, like ask your sponsor, ask your upline for people that they like to creep on. You don't have to be friends with them a lot of times to see their public post. And then my other little life hack for you guys, if you don't know that you can do this, is you can search words up in the search bar on Facebook, and then you can search post by so-and-so. So if you guys love following Stormy, which you should, because she's your upline, most likely if you're on here, but you can search like Confianza or Skinny Brew or whatever, and then there's a filter where you can search post by, and you can type in their name. What's fun is you don't even have to be friends with that person to search posts that they've made with that word in it. And so if it's not public, it obviously won't pop up. But I do this all the time, you guys. Like I'll search the word opportunity, post by Aaron Tweed or Kelly Brown or Cheyenne Knox, whoever those people are that you like love following. Maybe you're not friends with them on Facebook. Post by so-and-so, and Facebook will show you all of the public posts they have made with that word in it. So you guys, you should be able to stock up on content so fast that way. And I use that all the time. Like I need to make a post about whatever, like Skinny Brew. I have no words this morning. Maybe I got 3 hours of sleep and I'm like, I need someone else to put words on my page. That's how I do it half the time. So I feel like maybe that's it. I haven't looked at the chat at all. So did I miss any questions or anything, Gina?
I think I mean, my goodness, it was so good. I'm kind of, it's, I'm laughing to myself also because I'm like, oh, we're not worthy. We're not worthy. And then you're telling us all your hacks. And I'm like, she's nothing but a hacker. but I love you so much. You know that. Yes, it was so
Oh.
good. Do y'all have any questions? Put them in the chat. We can answer. I know that Elissa has been doing this for a very long time. Oh, yes. Somebody wanted to know how to sell wrap samples. You want to share about that?
Yeah, sure. So that was the post that I made earlier today. So I'm assuming that's what she was talking about. So our sample app, if you're new, it sells, you can send Skinny Brew samples and you can sell Sleepy Tea samples. There's no option to sell wrap samples through there yet. So you would need to actually have wraps on hand. I use my product rewards to get wraps because it makes them super cheap. They come in a pack of 3. So then you have 3 sample wraps. I'm selling them for $25 a piece. I know some people sell them for more, some people sell them less. I would do 25 or more. So I just reached out to people and basically told them my goal was to get them as customers, not actually to have to send them a wrap, even though I do have them. I'm also postpartum and I want them. But you just slip in an envelope and mail them if they want it, and you collect money just how you would with the sample app through Venmo or Cash App or PayPal or whatever you want. But yeah, though, if you guys aren't posting about the wraps right now, you need to be posting about the wraps more. I feel like, you know, having done this for 10 years, we built our business on wraps, and then we kind of took a step back from wraps and started doing other things. The new formula is legit, and there are a lot of people that want them. So if you're not talking about them consistently, I will say, and a lot of our team does this, but like build up about the product. So like focus on a certain product, maybe not every single day, but like make sure that you're really consistent with one product, and then talk about, make a story out of it, talk about how much you love it or what the benefits are. And then like on Friday or randomly like on a Monday, I've been talking about the wraps. I've been posting about them. I shared a reel of me wrapping, like I did all these things. And then I was like, boom, who wants to try one? And so it got a lot of interaction. And then again, obviously I'm trying to get them as a customer, not just selling the sample, but that was a really long answer for that question. Sorry.
That was perfect. Perfect.
Let's see, is there anything else?
I didn't see any more questions that popped up. I just also want to stress that this is being recorded. So I know I was writing so much, so fast. I was like, okay, I just have to grab the recording because it's going to be some great content here for later. It was very good. So how can we pray for you?
For me?
Yeah.
Well, currently our air conditioning is not working as well as it should. So I'm dying of sweat and I'm talking on a Zoom. So all the things. So that would be a good one. Otherwise, just, I don't know. It was an honor to be on here. I feel like there was a million other things that I could have, would have, should have shared, but I hope that it was helpful to someone, you guys. It really, when it comes to posting, like being relatable, showing yourself, I didn't go over 5 pillars. I feel like that's training that the company probably has in the Connect app, but figuring out those things that make you you and making sure that you're continuing to share those things. Again, that's just as important, if not more important, than actually you posting about the products in the business. So, but otherwise, just prayers for our family, being healthy, getting rid of runny noses, praying for Stormy's voice to come back. I know we got a lot of people with a lot of life going on our team. So just all prayers.
All right, well, let me pray for us and then I'll stop the recording. Dearly Father, Lord, thank you for everything that you do for us, God. I thank you so much for Elissa and her willingness just to pour her heart out and share with just all of us, God. It is such an amazing opportunity for us to be able to listen to her. And I just pray right now that they will figure out what's going on with their air conditioner and that they will help her kids just be well and not have any issues, and also her team as well with all the life that's happening. God, I lift up Stormy to you right now. I pray that you will just heal her little vocal cords and that she'll be feeling 100% again and that she'll be able to talk very soon, God. I just thank you for every single person that is represented here today. Pray for every single one of our families. Lord, I pray that we will use these tips that were said today, that we will use this and we will actually take this information and run with it. And we will do something instead of just listening in one ear and out the other. God, I thank you for everything you do for us. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, let's stop.